Okay, what's happening, guys? Welcome back to the setup where I'm going to teach you how to trade, making sure that I provide you with the most accurate information possible on a day-to-day basis right here on your screen from the Limitless Trading Academy. My name is Lorenzo. I'm the co-founder, and I'm here to explain you today a little bit what's going on in the markets, okay? So, quickly, we have a couple more days left, and then it's holiday here. So, this might be a good time to spend some time with your family, to enjoy the moment here, because you get a 2-week break from me, and after that we're gonna go right back into it, right back to work, okay? Couple days left right now at this particular moment. Let's absolutely make sure we are on top of this shit at this moment. Okay, let's get it. Number one, the news. We have some important news coming along today, which is called the consumer confidence, okay? It's gonna come today. Tomorrow we have also very important news. We have, if I'm correct, the GDP. And this is gonna be the most important news of the week due to the fact that Friday is also gonna be a bank holiday, a Christmas holiday, you could better say. So today and tomorrow can still get extremely volatile for the dollar. So this could provide you with some really, really good setups and opportunities in the market, okay? So, what we're looking at today is the consumer confidence. Now, what's important to mention is that the forecast right here is showing you 103.8 and the previous one was 102. So we expected a higher reading, okay? Based upon that information, if that actually comes to fruition, this should be seen as positive for the dollar, okay? So if this is the case, then we might have some really nice setups. So what we need to look at right now is on the dollar index chart to see if this actually makes sense, if there is a setup here that could potentially lead into towards that continuation for the dollar, or at least that bullish reversal for the dollar, all right? So let's dive into the dollar index first, and then we're gonna talk about gold, the yen, you name it. We have a bunch of setups ready at this particular moment. So number one, look at the dollar here, okay? Like we said before from a Monday stream, we already talked about the expectation for the dollar and how we're looking at a higher time frame bullish trend, okay? To just put it in perspective again for you right here, we have been constantly creating higher highs and higher lows, and we'll be following a nice trend here. At the same time, you could see that straight away, we are looking at these bottoms right here, okay? So this is a lower low and a higher high. We're looking at particularly still a higher low scenario. So this is still the same play. So far, we're still holding above it here, but when you zoom in on the daily, okay, and we're gonna come down to the lower time frames as well, you will start seeing what I'm talking about here. The following, okay? We're seeing this particular low still holding up and acting as major resistance. So it's still the case at this particular moment where this low right here is facing that resistance. We have been closing this week's structure 1, 2, 3 times already below, okay? That was Friday, we closed the next candles bearish. You have seen that the Monday open was bearish, the Tuesday was bearish. Now the Wednesday is usually the day, or could be the day, where we start flipping bullish again. So what we're looking for here right now at the moment is look at the 1 hourly, okay? Super key. Look at what we have been building here, okay? This is important to mention. I would have loved to see already an earlier breakout, but at the same time, the way we're building that liquidity right now to the upside right here, and the way we have been not taking out any previous highs here, is showing me that there might be some potential. So in this case, what I'm seeing right now is that this structure is retested. We expanded from it. We created these internal highs. Now we're pulling back. We took out the lows. We filled up that gap already as well, which we see right there. And now at this particular moment, it seems that we're looking for that break. If we do see a closure above this high at 102.633, we might be shooting up. Okay, so that's what I'm actually aiming for right now. A major push up to the upside here. But at the same time, we still have this range, okay? Which is still an internal range right there. Now, the good thing about this range, in my opinion, you don't really have to worry about, is the following reason. This range right here has not been, in my opinion, strong enough. So if you look here at this particular range right there, and you see that consolidation, you see that expansion to the downside, but this expansion did not create a lower low. So we're still looking at that consolidation, that expansion, but that expansion was not strong enough to break structure to the downside. So for that particular reason, I actually more tempted to look for upside potential when we close above here, okay? So wait for that confirmation, you don't have to rush it, But based upon that, you can see clearly that that's where we could be shooting up here, which is negatively going to affect, you know, particularly other pairs like GU, EU, and also gold, okay? Gold is also an important factor when looking at the current price of gold right now, okay? We're going to get there in a second here. Now, let's look at the next setup. This is the Japanese yen. We just shared it. We talked about this with the V3 community right here. You see that the yen has been extremely weak. Once again, we failed to break, like we said before, above this particular resistance. So we could not break above it again, the second week in a row. We're right now coming down. We actually created that higher point. We moved down, we broke structure to the downside, we took out the low. And what happened was we pulled back. But look on the 30-minute, okay? Look at what we're seeing right now happening here. This is a typical, what we call some sort of bear flag scenario, okay? Where you come down, you have that base. That base creates another expansion to the downside. So you have that leg down, you have that base, you have that expansion. Now you have that retracement to the upside right here. But at the same time, look at the amount of liquidity we're already starting to build to the downside right here. So when the moment the volatility comes into play, what tends to happen most of the time, okay, not always, most of the time, we start to come down again. We start to break down, we take out the liquidity, and then we're looking at the next reaction here. So based upon that information, you could see that the yen might be still weak, might be coming down based upon that break. So the key level to look at is the 6,924, okay? That's the Japanese yen currency individually. Now, let's look at a stronger currency, and that is the Canadian dollar, okay? Canadian dollar has been coming down. Right now, very, very clean. But what is so nice about the Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen is that we saw that massive expansion. We broke above very strong daily resistance, okay? So we had that daily resistance right here that you could backtrace. We eventually broke out of it. And now we're kind of pulling back. But in my opinion, the way we're pulling back is just a preparation for another leg up. So I think you can make some serious money right here with the Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen, especially if the Japanese yen start breaking below this 6,924 level. So you see that closure, then you break the last low that created that high. So this is that low, this is that high. And now if you break below that low, you start particularly coming down more aggressively, which will cause the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen to push back up, okay? Another confluence is also the Fibonacci. This is the swing low point. This is the expansion. This is the base. So swing high to swing low, or sorry, swing low to swing high, 50% looking for that continuation down. This is where people start coming and entering the markets again. Now, before we continue, let's quickly look in the chat here. Let's see what we have. There we go. We have Jamie, my man. Hope you're doing well, bro. Great to see you again. Chris, good to see you as well. The crypto noob. Really, really nice. Dexter says, what do you think of the thin liquidity by the end of the year? How this will affect these trades here? Good question. We can go over it in a second here. Abdul says, how are you? I'm doing great, man. How are you doing? Marton, as always, thank you for the support, man. You are amazing, amazing example of what we're doing here at Limitless. Great to see you as well. David, back in Barcelona. Let's go. Abby, Shana. Do you have a signal page? We have a group. Yes, we can talk about this in a second here. Great to see you. Okay, so Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, pulling back, expanding to the upside, looking for further continuation. Could be an amazing trade. Another trade, okay? We talked about this one Monday, okay? We said the following. We said the British pound is looking weak, all right? The British pound is looking weak. The New Zealand dollar is looking strong, okay? This is the basket of the New Zealand dollar. These are all the New Zealand dollar pairs together, combined, formulated in one chart. We call it an index, okay? It shows you the strength of an individual currency. The New Zealand dollar creating only higher highs and higher lows. One of the strongest currencies at this particular moment, okay? From a fundamental perspective, they're doing very well at the same time. The British pound, though, is actually not really looking that strong, okay? Look at that weekly rejection that we've seen right here. Very strong high, creating a lower low, lower high, internal break of structure to the downside. Now, pullback, and we said it's pulling back towards the 50%, the equilibrium, so more downside potential for the British pound, more weakness for the British pound. So what we start talking about was the following. Okay, we said if we break this particular low, we had that strong resistance right here, okay? Resistance right there, resistance right there, support right there, support right there. We said if it's gonna break, it's gonna dump, and it's gonna dump hard. And the reason why it's gonna dump hard is because of the following, okay? Look at that gap that we still have left over right there. So this move, like we said before, yes, it is on the daily chart, but if you just simply enter right here, you put your stop loss right above that wick, with that confirmation from the baskets, okay, we're now looking at a roughly a 156 pip move to the downside today in a couple hours, okay? So be very patient and aggressive also when looking at these type of setups when you have these confluences coming along. But again, we share this on the setup right here. So we took this trade as well. We can show it right now. I think we just entered today. So there we go. Based upon that information, we're now looking at roughly the 201.123. This is where we're currently at. I still want to see more downside potential coming back to the 198.830. So that could turn into a really, really big trade setup, okay? That's the GBP against the New Zealand dollar. Congratulations if you listened to this one and took this one, okay? Let's go to the next one, which is gold. I think this is important because right now gold has been looking weaker and the dollar seems to be starting to increase in strength here, okay? We have that news, we had that opening, we had that bullish start for gold, fantastic, but pretty easily we started to see that after we took out the highs here, okay, we started to talk about the following setup, all right? So number one, this was the manipulation that we've seen before. So of course we talked about the NFP, we talked about the FOMC and so on and so on. We lost the NFP, we won the FOMC. Now you see that this was still that rest liquidity built up for gold at around 2040. So that rest liquidity was super key. Why? Because the moment we start coming up here, we knew this could have been an incredible target to look at. Now, after that liquidity was taken out, we immediately started to look a little bit weaker, okay? We had this particular zone where we got rejected from. So this is like a bigger range which caused that rejection that we've talked about already previously. Right here, let's highlight this one real quick. Let's make sure that this is, there we go. Right there, that was the major resistance for gold here, okay? The 2044 all the way up to the 2050, major resistance for gold right now. So if you look here at this structure, okay, what we're currently doing here is we're building a very weak pattern. This is absolutely not looking that good right now for gold, okay? So you have this particular consolidation, you have that expansion, you then manipulate still one more time the highs, and you come back to an area of supply that was right here in this wick, and that wick was around the 2045. You get rejected, and this is where it gets super important. Because right now at this particular moment, you can see that if you look here on the 50-minute chart here for gold, we have been consolidating once again, okay? And this is very important. So we have this consolidation after that rejection. We're creating like a triple pattern where we see these bearish ranges before that major break, okay? So that consolidation, that expansion, now we're looking at a retracement. So if I'm gonna look at short setups right now for gold, I'm gonna start looking at the 2038. If we pull back towards this range to retest this range one more time, this is where I'm gonna place my entry, 2038. I'm gonna put my stop loss above the highs, and I'm gonna target, obviously, and this is important to mention, all that liquidity below here. Look at what this is left over. This has not been taken out yet. And again, the news, and especially this week, the aggressive news during the GDP, I can already assure you that there is a big chance that they want to go for this sell side that they have been building up here. A bunch of stop losses are not taken out yet. A lot of people are going long. They think that gold is going to go to the moon. People get really excited. People get really emotionally attached to their trade setups, right? So they enter a long position here. They are in profit. They hear all kinds of stories from their friends that gold is going to go up and up and up and up. But every single time, what tends to happen is that we make, once again, an aggressive move to the downside. So if we do not see a strong low followed by a strong high, I'm not impressed. And I do think that based upon the structure, if you zoom out one more time here, that gold can still make this overall move to the downside here. So once again, this could turn into a massive continuation to target the lows back at around the 2016, okay? So we're coming from 2032 right now. I want to enter at 2038. I want to target the 2016, all right? That could give me the best risk to reward when looking at that pullback, because they have nothing more than that consolidation, expansion, that retracement, and that continuation dump back further to the downside for gold here. So I really like it. Hopefully we can continue here. An aggressive entry will be literally entering now, okay, and putting your stop loss above the 2036, okay? That's an aggressive entry. I personally am more interested in waiting for a pullback. If that happens, it gives me the higher risk reward, better risk reward on my money. I can make more mistakes than in order to still be profitable, okay? That's the way I like to approach it in this case. But overall, gold looking bearish. I don't really like it at this particular moment, at least not for investing purposes, okay? So again, strong dollar. News is coming along in a couple hours from now here. I quickly want to go over the chat real quick again to see what we have in the community. In the meantime, guys, I quickly want to do a massive shout out to everyone in the V3 right now listening and tuning in. Today, Thomas, one of our mentors in our community, did 5 trades in a row, 5 winning trades in a row. So if you just like to hang out here with a bunch of guys and girls having fun, winning, okay? This is what we're looking at. This is what we do. We have been working extremely hard behind the scenes to make this happen, to improve, and to start really taking things to the next level right here. And also keep in mind that we're still optimizing, and that our goal is also, based upon what we're doing right now in general, is to build out a complete new YouTube channel as well, where we're going to provide you guys with a lot of more education, okay? We call this the LTA concepts. More information will follow here. A lot of free education on our YouTube channel. But if you want to join our training floor, okay, then all these wins right here that you can look at in the V3 wins, then this is your opportunity to join us right now. We are currently still open for a short and limited amount of time. So if you want to join, go to the Get V3 Access and join our beautiful group, okay? And start making some money with us. I would highly appreciate that. And hopefully we can learn something as well. Okay, now let's go back into the chat real quick. Let's do at least one more setup from you guys. Let me know what you guys want to see today, okay? Ivy says it is posted on your Discord. You can have a look at it. Neboisha says crushing Euro USD. Thomas is crushing Euro USD. Yes, absolutely. Beautiful. Ivy says thanks to you. I have an amazing GJ trade. Ivy, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You're doing great though. You are something that we can all learn from. So keep it up. Keep it up. Okay. Thomas and Maddie crushing EU on trading floor. Yeah, probably looking very good here. Big shout out to Thomas. Big shout out to Matty as well. Looking absolutely amazing. Okay, let me know if you guys want to see a setup here, want to see a particular chart. We can go over it right now here. Let's do it. Okay, let's make it happen. Also, make sure that if you're new, that you hit the notification bell, you subscribe, you hit the notification bell, and also, if you guys haven't liked today's, video yet, then please do. Helps me to grow the channel here, and have some fun with Lorenzo right here, right now. All right. We have Azrin saying GU, GJ. Okay, a lot of GJ. Okay, let's go over GJ here. So, like I said before, Japanese yen basket, that's the yen itself. That's the individual currency of the yen, okay? Still looking potentially at a rejection. If we start closing above the 6,978, we might be shooting up further, okay? So this is kind of that key resistance. This is though a perfect level to start flipping and turning around here, okay? So a weaker yen, all right? Keep that in mind for now. Let's go over the British pound. British pound, absolutely coming down significantly here, but let's go on the lower time frames. I think on the 15-minute, we're trying to recover a little bit here right now. Okay, there we go. So let's see what we have on the 3-hour. Yeah, we're still looking weak as well. It's not that we're looking very strong. We're trying to hold on in this range. Okay, we're trying to hold on this level right here. Okay, we might be reacting positively in the very short term. So we might be seeing a short-term bounce to the upside here. If the Japanese yen actually gets rejected, like we just talked about here, then GJ might make a move to the upside in the very, very short term. Let me see what we have. Overall, I'm still bearish, by the way, on GJ, but I think in the short term, we might be then looking for a bounce here. And look at this range. I can already see it. This is a nice range, area of consolidation here. This is a nice expansion to the upside. This is a retracement. So I definitely want to look at the volume profile and see what it tells us right here. If we have some of that information. Okay, yeah, there we go. The 181.153, okay? The 181.153 is the first level I would really pay very close attention to. So if you're watching and you're listening and you're curious to GJ, keep a very close eye on this level. 181.153 for GJ, okay? This is a level where you could potentially look at a reasonable reaction, okay? Reasonable, you know, short-term bounce to the upside here. So if you want to enter from that one, that could be a nice level to look at, especially when looking at the weakness of the Japanese yen here. But the yen basket have to close below the 6,924. Really wait for that closure, okay? Can take 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Be patient for this one. Look it up. JPY basket closure below 6,024. I do think that we might be looking at a short-term upside move here. The way we're bouncing up here also, same thing. Look at what we're building here, okay? Look at the liquidity we're building here. These stop losses are getting built up right now very, very nicely for GJ. So what we're looking at is the following. I want to look at a bounce. I want to look at one more expansion to the downside on the 5-minute chart. Wait for that low. Take out the previous low and start looking for a higher high, higher low, and then looking for entries back up towards that gap, which is going to bring us then back up towards the 182.480, which then could lead into a nice, let's say, 100 pip move to the upside from there. So lower low, higher low, and then looking for a bounce back up towards this range right here, okay? If you don't want to wait for that and you just want to have an aggressive move, then wait for this high to be broken, the 181.827, and then look for that continuation to the upside, okay? That's GJ, that's how I want to approach it based upon the other baskets as well. Let's see what we have. One more, let's do one more, okay? H chart says from Tokay with love, amazing. Welcome, my friend. 3-6 is entering on a gold skip move down. Yeah, so two scenarios for gold, like we said, okay? Number one is an aggressive move down, stop loss above here. But what I said was, I want to see price pulling back towards the 2038 to look for the continuation. That's the highest probability for me to look for that move. Also because we have news coming, and this is all preparation for the news today and for tomorrow, okay? So that move towards the upside one more time, followed by rejection around the 2038, 2040, somewhat in between to look for that continuation. Wait for also the 30-minute closure if you want to look at an aggressive entries right here. But once again, we have to then close below the 2032. GU making beautiful recovery. Beautiful. Yeah, we're seeing that the dollar is now getting rejected, right? So we have this range, that consolidation range. So you break down, you push up, you come back into that level here. So you now have kind of an area of supply that you have to take in consideration, which is this particular zone right there. But at the same time, you know, this is still, in my opinion, not a strong enough expansion to see how far we can take it. But the news is going to help us here. So, Euro USD. Yeah, let's go over the Euro USD. Okay, Euro. Euro was reacted right here. We saw that rejection. We talked about this one previously. We came down eventually. We came back up towards the highs. Let's see what we have here for the Euro. New zone was there. Also rejection point right now. Okay, this is the 3-hour chart. Look at this candle right here. Very, very weak. The 15-minute. Okay. Euro is trying to push up right now at this particular moment. Okay, let's see where the Euro index is at, what the Euro is doing. All right, Euro index is showing us let's see, a lower low, higher high, 1-hour chart here. Okay. Yeah, we might have a short-term bounce here. Okay. We might have a short-term bounce for the euro, but again, we are not there yet. We are still looking at a rejection point right now. There is no certainty until you break this high. So if this high doesn't get broken, then you might be pushing up. And from there, coming back to that major resistance here. So that could mean that the euro would make a short-term bounce to the upside right now at this particular moment. And the dollar, a short-term bounce back down. And then based upon that, I'm trying to see if you can, let's see what a nice target for the euro will be here. Okay, this is on 30-minute. I think it's going to be very hard to break this based upon that level here. And also, once again, we have news coming. And look at what we're building here. Okay, we have that trend also built up right here, right now for the euro. Now, I think that then based upon this here, we might be pushing up. But I think it's going to be too hard for us to break right here at this particular moment for the euro USD. So, you know, what I want to do is I want to wait at least for one more pullback back to the upside here and see how we operate. That's like a point of interest. So I want to see what or how price reacts around the 109.8 here for that reaction here. You take out the highs, you come back towards that range, and if you then get rejected, then that could lead into, you know, further continuation, creating that overall bigger M pattern right here. Based upon that information, we can move forward right here at the moment. Okay, so euro looking overall good, but I do not see a long-term reversal happening right now for the euro USD. All right. So gold, one more time, that's one. GN, congratulations if you took this one as well. Great to see you guys taking these type of trades. Thank you for the personal messages you guys send me on a day-to-day basis here. Like I said before, we have been working extremely hard this year, okay? And I want to use this moment to thank you all for this year. It has been an incredible journey, I have to say. We've done over 200 live trading streams this year on YouTube. We have been building a community of over 16,000 members in our Discord. We are now working on a new channel, on a new education, free education also on that new channel, which is going to be absolutely incredible. I've been testing a lot of things out there. This was my journey today, this year, to keep practicing, testing, trading as much as I can to make sure I have the right information for you later. The 2024 is going to be a good one. I truly, truly appreciate all the effort and work you guys are putting in. Keep a very close eye on what's coming, okay? And once again, also it's very important to mention that obviously we're going to have a big New Year's event. We're going to send more information in our community right here in our V3. So if you're in our V3, we're going to host a big New Year's event in our Discord as well. We're going to prepare for 2024, okay? So enjoy the next 2 days right here, okay? Enjoy the next 2 days. Keep a very close eye on everything that's coming. We're going to be back regardless here to cover everything that we need. And again, we have another crypto stream coming up already in around 1 hour from now. So if you're interested in trading crypto as well, we have been literally on the dot lately, okay? So new channel, Limitless Crypto, join it. Click on the link in the description, in the chat, as always. And once again, guys, peace out. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to see you in a V324. And otherwise, good luck with the news and make some money before the week is done. All right? Peace out. See you soon. Bye-bye.